We all face struggles, and they come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are big, some are small, but no matter how they appear, they are real. We've all experienced that moment when we feel like the weight of the world is on our shoulders, when it seems like everything is going wrong, when the world feels heavy and the challenges just keep piling up. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, young or old, successful or still trying to find your way. Pain, loss, disappointment, fear, and frustration don't discriminate. You probably experienced that dysfunction at least once or twice in your life. Now, you may not get on the same mental journey of me. Every single one of us has faced something that made us question our ability to move forward, whether it's a personal loss, a financial struggle, a health issue, a relationship falling apart, or simply feeling stuck. These struggles are a part of the human experience. There's no getting around that fact, but here's what I want you to remember. Just because you're going through something difficult doesn't mean you're alone in it. In fact, it's in those struggles that we find the common thread that connects all of us. We often think we're the only ones going through it, that somehow we've been singled out for suffering. We may look at others, see them smiling, and think that they've got it all together, that they have no idea what it's like to struggle the way we do. But that's a misconception. Everyone at some point faces challenges. There's no perfect life, and there's no escape from hardship. But you know what? That's okay. It's part of the journey. It's part of what makes us human. And it's a fact that these struggles are universal that gives us a sense of shared experience. It reminds us that we're not as isolated as we sometimes think. Someone else out there understands the pain, the confusion, and the frustration we're going through, even if they've never walked in our exact shoes. And here's the beauty of this shared experience. It's in these struggles that we find strength, not just within ourselves, but in one another. The commonality of pain and hardship is what allows us to support each other, to be there for one another when times are tough. It's the empathy we gain from our struggles that help us lift others up when they need it most. When life throws its hardest challenges at you, the first step is always to start with faith. Faith is the quiet strength that whispers to you in moments of doubt, telling you that there is a way through, even when it feels like there isn't. It's the belief that things can change, that no matter how dark the road may seem, there is always light at the end. Faith is not just a feeling, it's an act of trust. It's knowing deep down inside that even when you can't see the way forward, there is a path, and sometimes you just have to believe in it before you can see it. Existence. Faith isn't about having all the answers. It's about trusting that you are strong enough to handle the journey, no matter what obstacles are placed in your way. It's the belief that something bigger than yourself is guiding you, even when the situation feels out of control. It's the conviction that no matter how difficult the struggle, it's shaping you, refining you, preparing you for what's to come. Starting with faith doesn't mean you won't have doubts, fears, or moments of weakness. It doesn't mean that you won't feel lost or confused at times. But faith is what keeps you moving forward when everything else feels uncertain. It's the quiet strength that helps you rise each day, even when you don't feel like it. It's the reminder that there is purpose in your pain and that you are capable of more than you realize. Faith is also about patience, trusting that things will unfold in their own time. We often want instant results, quick fixes to our problems, but faith teaches us that some things take time to manifest. The process might not be clear in the moment, but the belief that it will work out in the end is what helps us endure. Faith allows us to wait with hope, knowing that each step, no matter how small, is getting us closer to the breakthrough we're waiting for. At its core, faith is about hope. It's the belief that no matter how long the road may seem or how deep the valley may be, there is something good waiting for us on the other side. It's the courage to face the unknown, to trust that even in the hardest of times, we are not alone. We don't have to see the way to know that the way exists. Faith gives us the strength to take the first step, even when we can't see the whole staircase. It's the foundation upon which we build everything else. When we face challenges, we often want the solution to appear instantly. We want to snap our fingers, and just like that, the problem is solved, the pain is gone, and life returns to normal. But life doesn't work that way. The truth is, there's no shortcut to growth, no magic fix that will solve everything in an instant. The secret to overcoming the obstacles in our lives lies in one powerful, often overlooked truth: embrace the process. Embracing the process means accepting that change takes time. It means understanding that the road to solutions isn't always straightforward, and that the journey will be filled with twists, turns, and aha moments of doubt. But it's in the journey that we grow, that we learn, that we discover strengths we never knew we had. The process is where the real transformation happens, and without it, there can be no progress. So many of us get frustrated because we want to skip past the hard parts. We want the results without the struggle, the answers without the questions. But when we try to bypass the process, we miss the lessons that it has to teach us. Struggles, setbacks, and challenges are not just obstacles, they're opportunities. They're opportunities to build resilience, to develop patience, to refine our character. It's in the process that we uncover the person we are becoming, step by step, day by day. When we embrace the process, we give ourselves permission to take things one step at a time. It's not about rushing to the finish line. It's about being present in the moment, doing the work, and trusting that every little step forward counts. There will be days when it feels like you're stuck, when it seems like you're not making any progress. But trust me, those are the days that matter the most. Those are the days when you're laying the foundation for something greater. The smallest efforts, the smallest victories, they all add up. The process is cumulative, and with every step you take, you're getting closer. Embracing the process also means allowing yourself the grace to fail. Failure isn't a setback, it's simply a part of the journey. Each failure, each mistake teaches us something valuable, something that helps us avoid the same pitfall in the future. Without failure, there can be no success. It's through our struggles and stumbles that we learn to rise, to adjust, and to keep moving forward. The process is never easy, it's often uncomfortable, and sometimes it feels like we're not making any progress at all. But that's the beauty of it. It pushes us, stretches us, and molds us into the person we need to be in order to receive the blessings that are ahead. The process is where the magic happens. It's where you discover your true potential, your true strength. And just as importantly, embracing the process means not rushing. We live in a world that glorifies instant results, but real, lasting change doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes patience. When we give ourselves permission to embrace the process, we stop comparing ourselves to others. We stop measuring our journey by someone else's timeline. Everyone's path is different, and it's in embracing our own unique journey that we find peace with where we are right now. So don't run from the process. Don't try to skip ahead to the end. Allow yourself to go through the full experience. Every moment of joy, every moment of struggle, every moment of growth, because it's in the process that you will find your strength, your resilience, and your capacity to rise above anything life throws at you. In life, we all face storms, those moments that come out of nowhere that shake us to our core and make us question everything. Storms can take many forms: the loss of a loved one, a sudden illness, a financial setback, a broken relationship, or the overwhelming feeling of being stuck. Whatever form it takes, it feels as though the wind is howling, the rain is pouring down, and the ground beneath us is shaking. In those moments, it's easy to feel like we're being swept away, like there's no safe ground to stand on. But here's the thing we often forget: the storm is temporary. When the storm is raging, it's hard to see past the darkness. The clouds are thick, the thunder is loud, and it feels like there's no end in sight. Fear starts to creep in, telling us that the storm will never pass, that it will break us, that we are powerless against it. But in reality, the storm is not the enemy. The fear we have of the storm is often much worse than the storm itself. And the truth is, storms don't last forever. No matter how intense they are in the moment, they are always followed by calm. After every storm, there is a rainbow, a clearing, a fresh start. And the clearing becomes the start, and clearing becomes the rainbow, the clearing. It's important to remember that storms are a part of life. No one is exempt from them. Whether we're ready or not, they will come. But the key to surviving them isn't in avoiding them, it's in learning to stand strong in the face of them. It's in recognizing that the storm, while it may feel overwhelming, is a natural part of the cycle of life. It is temporary, and it will eventually pass. It is temporary, and it will eventually pass. When you're in the middle of a storm, it's hard to remember that there's a purpose behind the struggle. Often it feels like the storm is only bringing destruction, but in reality, it's clearing the way for new growth. Storms strip away what is no longer needed. They shake up what is comfortable, and they force us to look at things in a new light. It's only after the storm that we can see what has been revealed, the strength we never knew we had, the clarity that comes from facing our fears, and the resilience we gain from weathering the worst of it. It's also important to recognize that while the storm may feel isolating, you're never truly alone. Just as a tree stands firm in the wind even when its branches are being bent and swayed, we too can stand strong through the storms of life. It's not about avoiding the storm, it's about leaning into it with courage and confidence. And sometimes it's about reaching out to others, sharing our struggles and finding comfort in the knowledge that we're all facing our own storms in one way or another. When you're in the midst of a storm, don't let fear control you. Don't let it convince you that you can't survive. You can. You will. Every storm you face is an opportunity for growth, for learning, and for finding the strength you didn't know you had. And when the storm is past, when the storm's clear and the sun shines again, you'll look back and realize that you've made it through, stronger and wiser than before. The moment we are in the reality, the moment we can leave the reality. I know it sounds harsh, but this is the way life plays out. When the storm is past, when the sun shines again, you'll look back and realize that you've made it through, stronger and wiser than before. The storm may have tested you, but it did not defeat you. You stood through it, and now you are ready for whatever comes next. Pain is something no one willingly seeks out, yet it's something that touches all of us. Whether it's the pain of loss, failure, betrayal, or the deep hurt that comes from unmet expectations, pain is a universal experience. It's uncomfortable, it's overwhelming, and in many ways it feels like something we just want to get rid of as quickly as possible. But here's the powerful truth we often overlook. Pain, when understood and embraced, can be transformed into something beautiful and purposeful. When we're in the midst of pain, it can feel like the end of the road. It can cloud our vision, make us question our worth, and shake our sense of security. But pain is not the end. It is a beginning. It's the moment when something within us shifts. It's the catalyst for change, growth, and transformation. In the deepest parts of our pain, there lies an opportunity to rise, to become stronger, and to find a new purpose that we may never have found otherwise.